Developers have reportedly been told not to expect the Switch 2 to launch before April of 2025. This was originally supposed to release like the end of this year before the holidays, but apparently, according to GamesIndustry.biz head writer Chris Dring, who discussed launch plans for the Switch's successor on the publication's latest podcast, Nintendo confirmed in May it will announce its next console during its current fiscal year, which runs until March 31st of next year, but said, quote, "No developer I've spoken to expects it to be launching this financial year," Dring said. In fact, they've been told not to expect it in the current fiscal or financial year. A bunch of people I spoke to hope it's out in April or May time. Still early next year, not late. I don't think any of us want a late launch for Switch 2 because we all want a new Nintendo console. Everyone gets very excited for it, and we don't want that crunch of Grand Theft Auto 6 and Switch and all that kind of stuff on top of each other. They point out that having launched in March of 2017, Switch is in its 8th year in the market. In July, it surpassed the Famicom as the Nintendo console with the longest lifespan before being replaced. And they've also seen revenue significantly dry up with the Switch because everybody knows a new console's coming. So people just are not investing very much in it. Nobody's buying new controllers. Nobody's buying replacement Joy-Cons. Nobody's buying new games. Nobody's doing any of that because they know a new console's on the way. So they're just kind of at a point where they need to announce it, get it out there, and start raking in the money that way. I would guess, let's do this. Releases gaming 2025. What's the schedule? 2025 release date calendar. What would be a good time for it to slot into? We have a lot of just 2025 games. We don't really have a lot of very specific dates, but yeah, TBA. I feel like everybody now is just walking on eggshells waiting to say when they're releasing because they don't want to be close to GTA 6. It seems like that's most of it. Like Monster Hunter Wilds, Marvel, which probably is like 4 hours long. They could put it whenever, but things like probably Fable doesn't want to be close to GTA. Doom doesn't want to be close. Death Stranding doesn't want to be close. I think Civ can release whenever. It doesn't matter. There's some big games and they're just waiting. South of Midnight also doesn't want to be anywhere close to it. So I have a feeling this is going to be one of those years where we have a lot of stuff that's coming and then we just get a slew of release dates all at once. I don't know if that's going to happen like in the spring, if they do like a big showcase then, or if they wait till the summer and then they announce release dates at the Xbox showcase. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff that gets last minute release dates. Having said that, if they release the Switch 2 or whatever it ends up being called, maybe in like April or May, May's tricky because almost always in the summertime game releases dry up because people tend to spend a lot more time outside and are not spending a lot of time playing video games. The Switch could get around that because it's a portable device, but we also don't really know what the next device is like. We don't know if it's just going to be a carbon copy of the Switch, if it's just going to be a more powerful Switch, we don't know. So I think May is maybe late. April could be okay, but if you don't release in May, you pretty much have to wait till like September because releasing June, July, August is just always going to be a bad idea. PS4 specs, from what I've heard. See, I've heard that it's going to be similar in power to like a PS4 Pro or closer, honestly, to like a One X. It's doing that with a lot of like upscaling tech as well. So it's not literally just like a One X handheld, but apparently it's going to use a lot of like DLSS stuff and upscale that way. I don't think it maybe it can run current generation AAA games that can run on the Series S, maybe, but probably not great. But that's also like the Switch, the Switch in general as well. Like if you've never seen the Witcher 3 port on the Switch, like look at some of this footage. Like, it looks pretty rough, man. If you've never tried it, it's pretty intense.
Areas than others, but they don't degrade the small screen experience in a meaningful way. The magic of Geralt's bobbing hair and the impressive lighting effects quickly fades, however, when you dock the Switch to play it on the big screen. The Witcher 3 only outputs at 720p when it's docked, and boy does that ever drag every one of its downgrades into the harsh light of day. Sure, it maintains a mostly consistent 24 to 30 FPS, but textures are muddy, the popping is exponentially more noticeable. I implore you, if you want to play this game on a TV and have access to any other platform, you're doing yourself a disservice running it on Switch. Controlling Geralt feels good for the most part.
I will say, I really don't know if this next console is just a Switch 2, basically. It's just a more powerful Switch. I don't know if it finds the same level of success with third-party games. I really don't think it does, if I had to put money on it. Because part of what made the Switch so successful for like that 2018 to 2020 to 2021 range was that there was no alternative in the handheld space. It was really once the Steam Deck came in, and once we got like other offerings later, like the ROG Ally or the Legion, once we saw that, then it started to be able to have competitors where third-party games just frankly ran way better, and so people chose to play there. But until then, the Switch was the only place. So I remember when The Witcher 3 came out on Switch, this was like 4 years ago, so 2019, October 2019. And I remember buying it because I was like, at least I can play the game on the go now. It doesn't look great. It's not the best way to go, but I at least have cloud saves, and I can play the same save file on Switch as I played on my PC and go back and forth. At least it's a portable version. Nowadays, I don't think you could do that. I think if like in the age of the Steam Deck, in the age of the ROG Ally and all these competitors, I just don't know if a less powerful handheld is going to do it justice. Now, I do think that whatever Nintendo's next console is probably still is very successful because it's Nintendo for one. And apparently they're going to have a pretty big catalog of AAA games from their first-party studios ready to go at launch. It's been rumored that they will have like a new Mario game. They are maybe going to have a trailer for a new Zelda game. And there's even speculation that they may have a trailer effectively for a new Animal Crossing game, which I think would just print money if they release that again, because the nostalgia of Animal Crossing from lockdowns, I think will carry it a long way. I love Animal Crossing, but I burn out on Animal Crossing because I hate how they set up the economies. I'm that guy. I love Animal Crossing for how chill it is, but I want more capitalism in that game. It drives me crazy that the only way I can make money is by either getting really lucky while fishing or by digging up fossils, of which there are only 3 a day, actual human day, and then praying to God that it has enough bells to make it worth selling. And then I don't get access to it. Then I have to sell it. I give it up when I would just like want to actually put it on display. It drives me crazy. And it's been a thing forever. Even back in the day, like I played Animal Crossing City Folk. I played this so much. I can't even tell you. Me and my whole family played so much of this. And there were, what, 3 or 4 save files you could have? So basically what we did is me and my siblings, we would share save files. And my little brother, Timmy, he used to get on and he would manipulate the day. So he would set it to like Easter or Christmas or whatever, and then get all of the added buffs and advantages of that, and make tons of money that way. So we were always confused because we'd all start like at the same time, and then he'd come in and within a few weeks, real world weeks, he would have just the most expensive house. Everything's fully upgraded. We're always like, how did you do that? It's because he was manipulating the dates like a real Chad. But man, I love me some Animal Crossing. I just hope whatever the next one is, they finally add in a more robust way of making money. Let me open up my own shop. Let me do something. I know it's supposed to be chill, and I know I'm probably asking for something that would directly contradict with the premise of Animal Crossing. And if they gave me what I'm asking for, it wouldn't be Animal Crossing anymore. I'm basically asking for like a 3D version of Stardew Valley, but for the love of God, it drives me crazy how ineffective it is. Also, can we just appreciate that we don't have to do these Wii controls anymore? Like, look at this. Remember this hand? You have to use that to pull up all the menus. It's just looking at it now. It's like, oh God, I'm glad this didn't stay. Like, it was fun for 2006, but damn, it's just a relic of its time. Anyway, all of that to say, I'm very excited for the new Switch console. I think May is pushing it. April's probably a good spot for it to release. And while I don't think it'll have the same appeal to third-party devs as it did back in 2018, 19, 2020, I do think it will still probably find some good success as long as they've got a lot of those AAA first-party titles lined up. I think it'll pop off. So he took my thing.